Right, we're going to move on to the Northstowe ICAN study. So I could ask the team, so Kate and Emma from Cambridge University. Hiya. Great, we can see that. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Hi, thank you very much for having us tonight. So my name is Emma Lawler, and I'm also joined by my colleagues Kate Ellis and Jenna Panther. And we're from the MRC Epidemiology Unit at the University of Cambridge. At some of the previous forums, we've presented some of our plans for some travel studies that we've been doing in Northstowe. So we wanted tonight to update you on some of the progress so far. So just to begin with, so the study that I've been leading has been focusing on the school travel environments in Northstowe. So the aim of the study was to find out how families make decisions about school travel and experience the environment on their way to and from the schools in Northstowe. So this has consisted of three main activities. So we've been asking children to take photographs of their journey to and from the schools in Northstowe, of things that they liked, didn't like, and things that they thought were important to them as well, and having the discussion with them about this afterwards. We also as well, I was taken on guided tours by the children of the journeys that they took to from the school, and also as well had an interview with their parents about travelling around Northstowe to and from school. So I've spoken to 10 different families with at least one child aged between the ages of 8 to 12 attending one of the schools, with a bit of a spread between the primary and secondary schools and different modes of travel so far. So just to give a very brief snapshot of some of the initial findings, I was going to show some of the photographs that the children decided to take on their journey to and from school. So just to begin with, so the children took some photographs of some of the obstacles that they had to navigate on the way to school, such as the taxis that they had to navigate either walking or cycling to the secondary school. And some of the things like the bins, some of the crossings as well, that they were unsure if people knew that they actually were crossings and for the cars to stop, and some barriers on the cycling lanes as well, and some of the ramps that they had previously had experienced difficulty cycling over as well. The children also decided that they wanted to take some photographs of the surfaces as well that they travelled over, such as some of the loose gravel, and also if there was any puddles or mud in areas also. Some of the children also were living in the outskirts of Northstowe who had to travel in. Some of the photographs that they took also as well showed some of the busy roads that didn't have any crossings, and also as well where they had to pick up their bike to get over the bus lanes and where the buses didn't stop as well to get into Northstowe. Some of the photographs as well the children took, and they also featured how that as they left Northstowe there was less lighting for the rest of their journey home. There was also lots of many positive photographs that the children took. Lots of very colourful ones here, such as of nature, such as the lake that featured heavily, and some of the flowers and plants, and also the pets that they encountered on their journey to school. The children also as well took photographs of things that they liked about the improvements to the area, such as the resurfacing of some of the surfaces, such as the walkways, the upgrading of the bicycle lanes, and also the opening of new off-road paths, such as this one by the lake in the bottom corner. The construction also featured in some of the photographs, and the children would commonly say that maybe it's the noise they didn't like, but also had found this actually very interesting as they had seen these buildings develop as they have travelled to school over time. The children also as well, they had taken some photographs of the builders where they had to cross the road because they found them very helpful and appreciated their help and assistance and across the road. So that was just a very brief snapshot of what the children took some photographs of. So we are going to be analysing the interviews that I previously mentioned, so we can update you a little bit later on those. And also these photographs we are hoping to be able to display within Northstowe as well, so you can take a look at in person. So I'm also going to just hand you over to my colleague Kate now. Thanks.
Hi everybody, thank you Emma. So I've been leading a research study in Northstowe, which has been exploring whether financial incentives have the potential to change travel behaviour of residents in Northstowe. So we started this research back in October and carried it out through November as well. We invited approximately 450 households in Northstowe that hadn't yet claimed any of the Northstowe travel gifts that are available to residents as they move to Northstowe. And we contacted them via letters to their house, And some of our research team knocked on some of the doors of those houses in Northstowe to ask them whether they wanted to take part in the initial survey, as well as wider advertising via posters around the town and social media. So we had 99 residents take part in the study. Emma, would you mind moving to the next slide? Thank you. And we placed each one of those participants into one of 3 groups. So one group still had to go onto the Northstowe website to claim those incentives, as everybody else needed to. One group received those incentives and a few extra ones directly to their email address. And another group received incentives of a greater amount directly to their email address. And the purpose of this was to see whether the change in those incentives had any extra influence on how residents travelled. So the incentives we included in the study were decathlon vouchers to spend on walking and cycling equipment, stagecoach vouchers for free busway travel, cycle service with aero bike repairs, credit to use on the Northstowe electric bike, and an incentive related to the Greenbelt annual management charge. So we've also spoken with 14, it says on the slide, but we've had a 15th today. So we've also spoken with 15 of the participants, asking them in more detailed interviews about their experiences of living, travelling in Northstowe, as well as how they plan to use or how they have used the incentives and what influence that this might have on their travel. So we haven't quite finished collecting data for this project yet. We're going to be recontacting study participants to take part in further surveys and interviews to coincide with 3 and 6 months since they first took part in the study. And we're really hoping this will help us to see whether the issuing of these incentives has actually had any impact on their travel behaviour. The follow-ups are going to be starting this week. So if you did take part in the original study, keep an eye out on your email inbox over the next few weeks for the link to the survey, and we'd really appreciate if you could take part. For both mine and Emma's study, we do have more, well, I have more data collection, but we both have more analysis to do. But we'll be continuing to share our results with you in future forums and events in Northstowe over the summer, where we hope to have some interactive activities that might kind of show our results from the studies. We'll also be sharing our results with the Town Council, councillors, South Cambs Council, Smart Journeys and the incentive providers, so that they're aware of what we found in the study and can learn from your experiences of living and travelling in Northstowe. So thank you very much for listening. And if there's any questions, we'd be happy to take them now, or you can get in touch with us there via those contact details. Thank you.
That's great, thank you. I haven't had any questions, so thanks very much for your time, guys.